Hi there, everybody. This is Lisa with Inspired Heart Intuitive, here to help you lead a spirit-led, whole and healed, peaceful and prosperous life. So I know I went early on live a little bit ago. I just popped back on. I ditched that video. Those of you that didn't, that's okay, because we're going to just talk about this in a very this subject in a very streamlined fashion. Because I'm getting ready to get out of here for about another hour. Okay. Okay. So how will I finally get closure? Right. That's what actually Shonda was talking. Shonda Rise Astrology. They were chatting about this last night. That's why I'm chatting about it today. She asked. I'm doing so for my sis. Also, if you're having issues and you're in this chat right now, and you're having issues with your significant other issues, please let me know. We can pull some cards or we could just talk. But I want to really this subject of closure. As I said in my other video, all right, but I will repeat it here because it's necessary since I got rid of that other one. The concept of closure is this, guys. Closure really is for us to feel vindicated or validated, right, that the other person hurt us. We want that other person, usually, I'm sorry, I was wrong, I hurt you, please forgive me. We want them to beg for forgiveness at the end of the day. We want, because we want to know, we want to feel like they understand how bad they hurt us. And, I'll hear people say this a lot. Well, they don't understand how bad they hurt me. I don't think they care. That's the hard truth to come to. I don't know that they care. Now, that might sound terrible. And then of course, they're all human and, they're people, and I'll just say that I don't think that they care in the vein of the, when you're in that moment, and if you have not come to a level of raising your vibration where you're not vibrating at a low level anymore, right? The basic food, right? Your anger, your all of that base low vibrational emotion, raising. If you had come out of that, the lower quadrant or two, gotten yourself up to a point where you're actually we have some level of enlightenment, let me put it like that, then it's going to take you a while before you to say to somebody and mean it, I hurt you, I know I hurt you, I'm sorry, and really mean it from your heart, from a place of where you've healed that portion of yourself, where you've gotten to the point where you're like, ooh, gosh, that was ugly, that was terrible, that was horrible. And I've worked on myself. I actually can recognize that was uber terrible and uber horrible. And not only that, I need to go back. I forgive myself. I need to ask for forgiveness from an authentic place. That's a whole different story. Type of closure, maybe twice. I'll be 50 in 12 days. Twice in my entire dating life. Of us had grown to the point where we could recognize where we hurt each other. This was not an abusive relationship physically. These were not abusive relationships physically, any other way. So there wasn't, there's two sides to every story. There's two sides to these stories. But we have both grown to a point where we were able to come together and say, yeah, that was terrible. You know, I was able to say, yeah, that's kind of a bitch. And so, but we're friends now, a whole different dynamic. Usually, again, when we're asking for closure, we want that other person to come to us and say, I wronged you, so that we can and we can make them, read them the riot act for a good 10, 15, 20 minutes and just make them feel like this high and on them. That's really what we're after. And if you think about that, in most cases, is what we're after, then is it really serving? And are you still then operating on that lower vibrational level? Are you still resonating in the basement, first floor, and you've not gotten up to floors 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you know? So, well, yes, but you got to work on you. It's the only way you get closure. You got to work on you. We first begin to look at ourselves and say, why do we not feel that we deserve love? Why do we not feel that we deserve to be loved in the same way, with this vibrance and all in? Oh, hello, honey. The same vibrance and the, right, that we're giving out. Why do we not feel like we receive it? Like we deserve to receive it. You have to look at that first in order to begin to close out a chapter in your life. You look at yourself and you say, and you go through the chakra, you go through the where's the karma coming in at? Where did my family have where did my past relationships have a role in this? All of these things, right? And start to find your healing. That's why people like myself exist, right? That we come in and we help counsel you through, help go through energy distribution, help go back and look and see where this came in and why it is that you do not have the level of self-esteem to be able to feel that you deserve love. You deserve to be cherished. You do not deserve to be someone that you are tolerated, that you are celebrated. So if you're giving that much out to somebody else, you deserve to get that much back. So the first level of closure then is self-esteem, loving yourself. Figuring out where and why and how you got to this place where you didn't just feel like you deserved to be loved. Yes, honey, I'm back. I got rid of eating pancakes on there, guys. It was just not professional. Well, I was finishing my breakfast. It was real. So anyway, okay, here we are, self-esteem. I know I get sidetracked. We come to this place of self-partnership, of self-love. If you have to, I literally had to do this with my ex-husband. I had to type, you jerk, you asshole, you know, pardon my language. But you know what I'm saying? You did this, that. You had 5 outside chicks besides, you know, outside of your wife. Okay? 5. I kid you not. 66. The man is an OG pimp. I mean, really, honestly, I really like that's some just pimpology you bow down to. Because it's like, wow, player. But anyway, you know, and he had one here. That's how I, it's a long story. But anyway, so here I had to forgive him for having somebody in my house. In my house. OG pimp. OG Bobby Johnson pimp. You know, he's like, you know, the Mac. Anyway, a lot of y'all not going to understand a word I just said about no Goldie or anything else, but look it up. But It's a whole movie, y'all. The Mac. Don't let your kids see it though. My point to there, and I had to literally by myself write out a letter, and it was a lot of letters. And I typed, just typing. You did this, you did that, you did this. And at the end, I forgive you. Now he's a narcissist. There's no way on God ever taking responsibility or accountability for a damn thing he did. That for him. Why? Because forgiveness is not for him, it's for me. So I can go on with my life. Let's not forget, is you wanting this person to come to you and apologize to you so you can give them absolution of their sin, so you can inflict some sort of emotional in that moment and make them feel like crap. Okay? Close. You wanting retribution. That's how the definition. When somebody says, I want closure, you call somebody every day for 20 days. You gonna talk to me. You gonna talk to me. I want to talk to you. No, come on now. Making yourself look bad. They're not gonna come to you. They don't think they did anything wrong. And even if they did, they'll say it just to get in your bed or back in your checkbook to get more money if you've been taking care of them. That's another story. Okay, now that's my definition of closure. Of forgiveness, or you want to seal anything up or whatever. It is really, I want somebody to apologize for the hurt. This is for you. Why? Because when we go through the act of forgiveness and allow peace to come about, what we do is we begin to close off the energetic pipeline that we opened up between ourselves and this. You see, when we're intimate with somebody else, be that physical intimacy, be that emotional intimacy, like family members or whatever, or friends, intimate with someone else, and we are not coming into it with in a holistic thing, then we end up codependent. Then we end up with this meshing and transference of baggage. And if you're the one putting out all this energy and out all this love, getting back is not love. If that's the situation, you're getting back garbage. You ain't this, you ain't that. I gotta go find outside people. You don't clean the house right. You don't do me right. All these things, right? No man. That's why you can't keep no woman. We've all heard it before, people. We've all heard this. And we have to stop the cycle. Because if I'm honest with you, and I am 12 days away from being 50 years old, the countdown has begun. This was a 6th cycle in my life. 6th cycle. I would love, 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 give, do for them everything they wanted to do. Then we would reason. And then I'm like, I gave that person all it is. Yes, I can get ghetto when I want to. I gave them all of me. Why are you giving all of you to someone else in the first place? Why? Why are you giving all of you? Why are you two not in partnership together going on this journey together as one and not take, and give. Okay? So, forgiveness. I need to release this. I need to cut cords. I need to seal off the energetic transference. You ever notice sometimes when you break up with somebody and it's like you can feel them still? I mean, energetically. You're like, your spidey sense, and you feel like they're in the area, and poof, there they are. Or you're driving down the street and you just know, oh my God, I, where are they? And then you look up and sure as hell that they are right there. Or you're sitting at home watching something and there's feeling somebody energetically, but you know what I'm saying? Like you just feel them. You could be sitting at home not doing a darn thing, like minding your own business. All of a sudden, it's like person you could sense the fact that they're thinking about you. See, that cord has to be cut. That energetic cut has to be cut in order for you to move forward, because you created an unhealthy connection there, or a connection with an unhealthy person. Therefore, you are unhealthy. Okay? Cutting that off. This is why sometimes someone had to teach me how to close it off energetically. This is why we have people like myself, Wanda that's here, and Lollipops Tarot Shop, and Hustler Jones Tarot. Those types of people working together with you can help you identify those areas and then help you sever cords and cut ties and be able to and release yourself and move on. Healers, we help, right? Align your chakras, get everything in line. Typically, when you need closure with something, you're not grounded properly. I'll be super honest with you. Properly, because if you were grounded when the wind came along and blew, even if it was a storm, you'd still be standing like that big old oak tree sitting in front of your lawn. The wind goes by and branches might fall off. I got a big old maple tree in my front yard. Wind comes, bad storms, but that darn tree is still right there. Now there's dead branches that have fallen off. So if you have properly grounded spiritually, the storm swirls around, everything that's dead is not serving you anymore, goes off of you, falls off. When you're raising your vibrational level from a very basic, rage and anger and all of this, when you're raising it, it's going to feel painful, but I can guarantee you at this point, those small branches that fell off my maple tree outside, at all, they were dead. It wasn't serving it. It is yet as majestic as it was yesterday. Nothing's changed. Okay? So, being rooted usually means you can't, right? You can't withstand that storm. So back to closure, back to forgive. My example, I had to write down that I forgave my ex-husband for all of his infidelity, all of the emotional abuse, the verbal abuse. And then, you know who else I had to forgive? Me. You forgive yourself for getting in the situation that you would get yourself into. But that then you have to first admit that you got your situation. You have to first admit that there might be something wrong with you, that you keep choosing the same type of person. You're attracting that type of person in your life. There's something wrong with your polarity, honey. Your magnet is off. It's not drawing the right type of person. You need to magnet up. Hear me. I'm not saying that what that person did to you was right. I am saying you need to deep down forgive yourself for getting yourself in that situation again, and understand that you did the best you could with the tools you had at the time you were using them. And then allow yourself to level up and get better tools. So you're not always using the same, trying to do everything. Get yourself a power screwdriver. Get yourself some power tools. But you got to level up to get there. That costs. Hello, Ms. Love. How are you? Better tools cost you. You know what it costs you? It costs you the willingness to let go that is no longer serving you. It costs you taking a really good hard look at yourself. Taking a good hard look at your I had to recognize I had become my mother because my father was a narcissist. I had to recognize that with my ex-husband. I had to recognize where I thought that I was this really strong, super strong woman and all of this, that, and the third. Really what I was this little girl that was still looking for daddy to show her love. At 48 years old when I got married. Was I 48? Yeah. At 48 years old when I got married to him, I still had daddy issues. Now I want you, here's somebody that's been in ministry in the charismatic church for forever, right? Years. Risen, walked up the corporate ladder, raised 3 kids, had a grandchild, nice car. You would thought you saw me, it would all together. But I still had daddy issues. That's how I got with the narcissist. Because I had daddy issues. And my daddy was a narcissist. And I still needed approval from my daddy. How are you? Shanicia. Love that name. Shanicia, yeah. Beautiful. And if I'm sorry. Very sorry. So anyway, I had to understand that that's what I... Now, that man was not my ex-husband. If you saw him on the street, now, first of all, I'm past the point where I would run him over. Is it? I don't know why that is the case. Is it better now? I need to get myself an external mic, I think. Maybe that's... okay. I'm so sorry. No, Shonda said it's going in and out. I am definitely going to get myself an external mic today. Let me see how much those are. Because this just... my poor little video camera. Anywho, Zenheimer. Okay. So, daddy issues, right? We have to look at, and this all, believe me, this all rolls into closure, folks. You don't think it's my mic? Well, I've got a strong internet connection. Is it stinking YouTube? You have to help me figure out how to do the Google Hangout thing. Maybe that'll work better. I'll call you later on that one while I'm driving. But anyway, my point being is this, is that when we start looking at, when you have someone that's look through your past and see why you're making the choices that you're making. You know, I had to look at, what did my mother teach me that a wife was? Because my mom teaches us that I won't be able to see the chat in Google Hangouts. Oh, okay. Well, then I'll get an external mic and a different webcam. Okay. Anyway, when we're growing up, our parents teach us things. Our parents teach us, women, how to be in a relationship, women, period. Our fathers teach us what to expect from a man, whether they are there or not. They teach us what to expect from a man. We bring all of that baggage into these relationships, folks. All of it. into these relationships. And then what happens is this: we are hurt individuals bringing garbage into a relationship and baggage, hello, loving it, and baggage into a relationship. And then we get with somebody who was, so their mother taught them how to be a woman. If this, father taught them how to be a man, whatever the case is, we are with someone then that brings a relationship, usually, because usually two enlightened, up until this point, two enlightened people don't typically get together. Now, I will tell you this out there in the universe, and I said, if you're not enlightened and you don't have your stuff together, I don't want you. So that's why, I might meet somebody and they might be, I'm like, oh, you cute, you fine, you this, you that. You got to go. And they just move themselves from the premises, so to speak. Because I don't have time for it. And I don't make myself available to them to glom onto me, to attach themselves to me. Okay, so when you are two people, though, you know what? I actually have my little diagram right here. Ooh-wee. Let me try it again. When we have, if we're going to put a little stick figure here, stick drawboard for leg. Okay? There's two people. I'm heterosexual, so that's what we're going with. Two people, right? They get together. They're here. They're in this. But they both have broken so they can intertwine. So what happens is garbage goes back and forth, guys. It literally goes back and forth. When you are intimate with someone, it goes back and forth. When you say, I'm giving my heart to you, do you realize what you're doing? You are literally taking all your defenses down, everything from your heart chakra, and you're saying, here, here, I love you so much, I'm going to give you. That's what you're doing. You are allowing this person to send to you unfettered, unchecked, because you don't have the proper defenses up, or because you're not whole. Defenses sounds bad, so let me just, because you're not whole. And then when this breaks up, you know what happens? So this breaks up violently, right? Now all that's been severed. Even if it's negative crap, you've been getting crap. Even if it's negative attention, you've been getting attention. It's not what you deserved. You've still been getting it. And by that point, you have literally believed everything that you've been told about yourself. Why? Because you've given all of yourself over to someone else. And don't do that. I don't care how enlightened they are. Say that. Don't do that. You can be in partnership with somebody without literally taking everything and handing it to them and not getting anything in return. Now, I'm going to keep on. I'm going to make myself some diagrams. They're going to have nice, cute little faces. There's two circles here. I know you can't really see them very well. This circle, this inner circle, I have two layers actually. It's circular. You have to say, you're not meant to give all of you out. So this is what you have: a well-rounded, well-grounded resonance. All that can. However, your outer boundary doesn't. There's nothing for this man in this heterosexual case to hold on to. Grab, even if he's not whole and he's all squiggly wiggly and hasn't like filled himself out, he can't do this. You all can do this and somewhat intertwine, but can't do this and become codependent. There is a huge difference. You find closure when resonance to this. This is healed, like major healing. I will always need to have, there's always something that's healed, right? But you get over that major surgery done. I mean, I had some this time last year, energetically, in my chakras, karmatically, what have you. When you get past that major surgery, and I had to have, healers and readers and things like that. There are a few people that I dealt with. And I honestly didn't even have as close of a relationship with you guys, which is why I love to do this way. I like having this relationship and getting to know you. My energy healer, I did have a very, but that's why we need people like us in this world. That's part of being a light worker, right? Is I help people of wholeness. Okay? They get to this point of, sorry, I got things happening. So when you get to this major surgery and you heal up from that major surgery, you circular. You get strong. You get to the point where now, y'all saw Wonder Woman. I'm sure I love me some Wonder Woman. So, I get a narcissist around me. You know what happens? It's like I got my little bracelets and they go ding, 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 ding. You say what you want to say because I know what you're speaking about me is not the truth. I knew my ex would never give me closure. He was never going to feel sorry for what he did. He doesn't to this day. He feels fully in the right to have outside women. Hello, Miss Cassandra. The man feels like he passed his wife, which was me. And I worked a lot. I didn't make him feel like enough of a man. What is he gonna say? Those are the main two. Okay, the main two. Never took his manhood away from him. Yes, you have to get it for you. You have to get it for yourself. Yes, you do. Yes, you got to get, baby. You got to get that healing for you, and you got to get closure for you. You and you alone can only give you closure, because again, the reality is these people. And if y'all down there on the video, please, the other person is not going to give it to you because they don't give it to you. That's the other dirty little secret, folks. They don't have the capability. They don't have it to give to you. Therefore, you can't expect it from them. You can't expect to get something for yourself. What's the old saying? You can't get blood from a turnip. Closure. When you decide to stop looking for it outside of yourself, that's when you will get closure. Period. When you decide to stop looking for it outside of yourself, that's when you will have closure. Let him to everything. Oh, honey. Well, he's just a deep narcissist. He's been a narcissist. He's 67, I think now. He'll be 68 this year. 18 years older than me. So he's been at it for a while. That's fine. I know it wasn't my fault. Never your fault, by the way. Unless you cheated already, but that's a whole nother story. But they can't give you what they don't have. You can't give something either. And if you continue to give out all this love, affection, loyalty, I'm ride or die, you continue to give all of you go to work, you come home, you cook, you let him, he's playing his damn game or running around with the fellas all day. You don't put no requirement on him to bring no money into the house. You don't put the requirement on him to be a man, not in a bad way, but allow him to be a man, and you taking care of him and giving him. Mm-mm. No. Even if he is making money, let's say he's making enough money for you to stay home. You still don't give him all of you. Still needs to be a partnership. You still need to be receiving back. And receiving back is not just putting a roof over your head. Not enough. Because you could do that on your own. There's plenty of us that do. Your own. You're not my daddy. You're supposed to be my man. You're not my mommy. You're supposed to be my woman. Okay? You get closure when you stop looking for it outside of yourself. You get closure when you figure out why it is you in the first place. You get closure when you come out and then say, I forgive you, even if you're never saying it to them. And say it 20 times a day for 50 days. Say it till you mean it. And if you got to tell you get closure when you forgive yourself. And then once you get closure, then the cycle stops. Because now my resonance is here. There's nothing for anyone to attach to. You can't. You're bouncing off of me. You're running off of me like water. It's like, whatever. Have your issues, and I feel for you, and I care about you. Yes. Oh my goodness. They want us to be their mama, their sister. Because I put that other person up on the shelf. Ms. Love, infinitely. I put her over there. I need to leave her there. She, whoo, things I would say back in the day. Anyway, when you raise your resonance to the point and your vibration to the point where you have now inflated your balloon, so to speak, right? Your bubble. Things bounce off of the bubble. They just do. It just doesn't affect me. So unless I'm really saying something to someone that I'm like, oh gosh, but I know already that apologize before we ever get to a point where it's an issue. But now when men approach me and they're not, run along, and I don't even have to tell them to run along. If I just say, I think we should, no, I don't want to go out with you. And I say it with all the love and all the respect and all the everything else. But they know I mean it and they keep it pushing. I those relationships anymore because there's nothing for anyone to log on to. That's when you get closure. Okay, I've talked a long time. Does anyone have any I mean, do you want to talk about this? Do you have concerns? Um, do you want to talk about does everyone understand what I mean by energy healing? I mean by when I start talking about chakras, I think everybody in here does. But I just want to be sure if there's any shitty chat about. Okay. Talk more about forgiving. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. It's a beautiful moment in this love. So forgiving. Okay. There is forgiveness. The definition of forgiveness, um, to me, is there's a verse in the Bible that talks about when talks about forgiveness of sin. And he says he throws our sin or puts it away from him as far as the east, which is an infinite, right? The east is always going to bright. The east is the east, the west is the west. Where he throws it into the lake. I love the east versus the west better. And I will say this: when you doesn't mean you've forgotten that the issue happened. That doesn't mean you've forgotten the that they did something to you. But when you truly forgive someone, you release pain, release that energy, that negative energy, because the only to it is to protect yourself against that person. And when you truly forgive them, you no longer need protection from that because you are healing that area in your being that was able to be hurt in the. If there wasn't a chink in the armor, then the blade couldn't get through. Right? I mean, if the armor was fully like all tight, and, upright, the blade couldn't have got through. Release that and give it out. Wash it out down through your roots. Wash it in light and allow love then to heal that area. You identify it, you forgive that person for what they did, but now you need to also get to the root of it and say, who inflicted the original injury? Why is this in my armor? Whom else do I need to forgive for this? Because I can guarantee. So again, forgiveness is you put that from as far as the east is from the west. It is a distant memory. There are have happened to me over the years that I've truly forgiven people for. I don't remember the pain. Like the pain itself is not prevalent in front of mind. The fact that it happened, it's still there. So I can look towards the east, right? East is from the west. I can turn around and look, but I can touch. So you throw the pain away so the pain doesn't touch you. Because it doesn't serve you anymore because you don't need to be protected. Okay? However, there is still the remembrance that it may have, because I'm not saying be a doormat and let somebody do it all over again. But as you're raising and as you're going through the forgiving and healing, forgiving and healing, forgiving and healing, forgiving and repairing the chink in the armor, then your bone, it gets rounder and rounder, and you're able to protect yourself from those onslaughts again, because now you've forgiven him. The more you hold on to that anger, the lower you're lowering your vibration. If you hold on to anger, you're lowering your vibration. Period. The more you hold on to anger, you block your blessings. The more you hold on to anger, you block the manifestation of what it is you want. Bring it to you. God can't bring that to you because you haven't raised yourself up to the level that you are able to handle it. On for size for a second. Let that one just marinate for a second. I let that one marinate in my own heart. The more you do not forgive, God cannot, the universe cannot bring it to you because you are not, your heart is not yet in the right place. I had to sit with that one. That didn't slap nobody else upside the head, it slapped me, so that's okay. I'll take it. There's a whole host of things, and again, I base a lot on the Bible, right? So the Bible talks about how if your brother, don't forgive someone else for what they did to you, that your prayers cannot be heard. Why? Because you're not coming from heart, right? You're coming from a heart that's harboring anger. So yes, it's okay, of course, in a moment, but if you hold on to it, do you realize that cancerous cells and things like that go in a stress-filled body and also an anger-filled body? Cannot heal itself. Doesn't have positive energy in there. Literally, you affect your body on a cellular level when you hold on to things. Forgive. Okay, so forgiving the other person, tossing it way over there. I don't even see you anymore. Far away in the distance and in the horizon. I know it happened, and I won't give you the opportunity to do it to me again. But that doesn't mean I have to hold on to the pain. Like that's what we think that if we forgive them, that all of a sudden that is, or we are releasing their karma for them. No, we're not. They did it, and karma's going to bite them in the butt to exact that revenge. How was that, Miss Shonda? Is there something else about chat about? So forgiving, but get the lesson. Yes, exactly. Just move on because you won't let them do. Yes. Forgive them, but get the lesson. For asking that. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, sis. And thank you for the suggestion. This was good. On Independence Day, this kind of stuff sets you free. This kind of go free. It's amazing. Because you're not carrying all that around. You don't own it anymore. You let it go. Just own your own stuff. Don't own everybody else's crap. Leave enough. All right, guys. So, get ready so I can get the heck out of Dodge. My daughter and I are meeting some more family members, and we're gonna go to medieval times, and it's gonna be fun. So all of my contact information is down below in the description, or it will be, including a link to my Patreon. So I do have some like package deals and things like that for my patrons and my partners. So do check that out and please a partner with me. You were conflicted for years thinking you were holding on to it because I would reference the past crap now. Good. Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad. Yeah, reference, like I'm not going to get into another relationship where somebody's just got 5 outside people, not even 4. But um, but I blew past a lot of the red lights and red flags and all the signs and flashing. Yep, Shauna. What is it again? Yeah. But um, knowing that I did that and recognizing why, because I was so desperate to be married, it fit into my plan. I being a Cancer, it fit into my plan, right? This life plan, and I wanted to be remarried. Hey, Frank. Hey, Leo son. Sorry. Yes, ma'am. Um. But anyway, the point is, Ms. Love, that I won't do that again. I forgive myself for even blowing past the red lights. But I learned the lesson. Why, I know, honey. Patreon. So Patreon is a website. It's a collection of like artists or bloggers or podcasters, and there are a lot of energy healers and readers that are out. And what Patreon is that it is for a monthly subscription, if you will, right? You become a patron or a partner in this spiritual practice in this YouTube channel, which is really a spiritual practice for me. So there's different levels of patronage, as well as there's like an a la carte choice where I have all my, where how much different things like Reiki that cost. So there's different levels. So like there's one patronage level where you'd get a live reading from me every month. I will be posting exclusive there, as well as some here. Other ones, I'm typing it right in right now. So there's other ones where you can like get a monthly Reiki reading, get a live reading from me, recorded reading from myself. I'm going to have blogs on there, video training, things of that nature. Hey, Mimi. So, and then again, there's the a la carte where you can just choose if some sort of personal reading or personal service done. So that's what that is. And that really goes to the where wanting to go with this whole thing, right? Of having a spiritual practice where I'm able to help and reach people who have been going through these issues. The huge thing for me right now is this empath and narcissist and people that have suffered and really need help in raising their self-esteem. That's huge for me because that's really been an area that I've been really, really like drawn to. My most child and an abused wife, myself having come through abuse, family, friends, like it to me. So at any rate, all of that is down in the descriptions below. And it has a great 4th. If you guys want me to come back on later, maybe when I get home, maybe I'll come back on and do some readings tonight. But do check that out. There's not a page right now. Again, it's just if you want a partner and we can work together on a regular basis, I would love that. So I gotta call you, Shonda, as soon as I get off of here, honey. What I'm talking about. Yes, I do know what I'm talking about. I do know what I'm talking about. Um, when you grow up in a household where you have no idea who dad's going to come home in, where you have no idea if because the dish towel was folded incorrectly, you held to pay all through the house, where at 10 years old, you put your mom's arm back in her socket and treated wounds. Um, so I know when people talk about abuse, I know I've suffered abuse. You know, I in different relationships. I was sexually assaulted. I, you know, physical or mental or, you know, emotional abuse. I know. I know how devastating it is, difficult it is to get out of it, to walk away from it. I know how difficult it is make the decision whether or not I was going to be a victim or I was going to be so hard, such a tough external shell that you were never going to hurt me. But then that didn't allow me to have real relationships with people. You know, that's not healthy. So you know, youth, well, it was a different time, Ms. Love. It was a different time. I mean, so again, I'll be 50 in 12 days. So please, I mean, you at least here in Wisconsin, men weren't even getting locked up for doing that. You could call your husband for domestic violence and they were just talking. They would just talk to him and be like, or tell the woman, well, just go on and try to do what he's got, you know. I mean, you had to practically die in the 70s in Wisconsin to get any kind of type of job. It's better now, but it's, you know, so this was a different time. And I don't want anyone's pity or anything like that. Like Evans, when things happen, you know, you can either choose to allow God to redeem that time and make that test your and be able to pay it forward and help others, or you can sit in it and still be, you know what I'm saying? Not sit in it in a bad way. So that's why I'm impassioned about helping women come up out of, or men come up out of these situations and come up out of the mindset and the paradigm. And I'm really I'm all about that energy healing and that wholeness. So it means a lot to me to be able to do this. And I would love to be able to do this more and more, right? So the Patreon page. And that's why I'm like, you know, I talk about like, you know, the Reiki sessions and things like that, the energy healing, because I'm so impassioned about it. And being transparent helps. The whole Me Too thing, right? Guys, it's me too. I'm not talking from a textbook. I'm talking from my life. Whole different thing, right? Overcoming a narcissistic, he was physically abusive for 5 years. Honey, I know. Oh my gosh. It took, my mom was married to my dad for 35 years. And so they got divorced when I was 35. So it's been 15 now. Mom's getting better. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of us out here, Ms. Love, that have had those experiences. And now we're finally coming out and talking about them. So glad for that. I'm so, so glad for that. Okay, guys. Honestly, like I didn't want to run my makeup. Okay. Okay. So 7 years was too long for me. Again, well, she was so mom's 60, mom's 66, she'll be 67. Mom got married when she was 7, she was 16. Mom was 16 when she got married because she had me right before her 17th birthday. She's pregnant with me when she got married. My dad had no business with her. My dad was 9, no business with her. But her mom had been used. So this is now in the 60s. Okay. I was born in 68. This is in Wisconsin. So grandma got divorced. My grandmother is white on my mom's side. My brother, black, half Native American. He was horribly abusive. I have an aunt that can't have kids because of the abuse that they suffered. Okay, physical abuse. Broke a chair across her stomach. And you didn't then in the 50s either, or the 60s. You did not get divorced. You took it. You must have done something wrong, especially they were going to Church of God in Christ, so especially in the church. And you a white woman married a black man, well, you're getting what you deserve, right? So at the end of the day, she gets divorced from him. She went into this like just drunken stupor. She was always at the bar. So my mom, being a teenager, and her teenage sisters had to go to the bar to get grandma. Well, get mom. The bartender would call and say, the bartender would call and say, your mom's drunk, can you come get her? And that's how she met my dad, going to get grandma at the bar drunk. You know, so it was just the whole thing, right? The whole thing, cycle. So fast forward to now, thank God now, see this. So I was able, hopefully, to break that cycle for my kids and my generation. Yes, let me again to get over what I've been through. God in therapy. That's right, honey. God in therapy. And there's probably going to be more healing that's going to be necessary. That we go through it. I've never seen my mom go through it. I think in some cases it is generational. We should probably talk a little bit more about that. In praying with people or working with people, I have seen generational curses passed down through, right? I've worked with people where I can literally pinpoint and tell them how far back it was that this person made this contract with, brought this into their bloodline. So there is a level of generational to it, I believe. Yes. Oh no, I am. Let me know, Ms. Love, if I'm back. I didn't see myself freezing on this end. Okay. So what I said was, yeah, generational. There is an aspect to it that is or can be. In my family's case, it was. And I've worked with people who, when I have prayed with them, that I've been able to see back generation who it was in their family that brought this into their bloodline. There's a factor of it, but if it wasn't, if your mom wasn't, you know what I mean, then I would say it may have been generationally on his side, and I wouldn't be concerned about it for you, other than the fact that, you know, just make sure of how your daughter is feeling. right? Make sure that she works through because issues if she hasn't worked through it. That's natural. You're going to. You're going to. When am I? I don't know, but I honestly do. Like my daughter's gonna kill me because we got to get out of here. I probably won't be back on till later on tonight. I should be back home like 8 something central, so maybe I'll jump on later on tonight. How does that sound, guys? I'll like say 9 or 9:30. Okay, sweetie. And I'll get on my phone when we get back on tonight, okay? Be back on by 9 or 9:30 tonight Central Time, and we will continue to talk about this. All right, guys. All right. I gotta go. All right. Bye. Bye. Guys. Bye. Have a great day.